Well, we go to Texas, where two men roll up to this one person's house to chit-chat, like Jehovah's Witnesses.
I don't give a f.
Difference is that Jehovah's Witnesses will harass you and try to push their religion on you.
It's true.
These two are not only there to harass you,
Bullshit.
but potentially arrest you for wrongthink.
Total bullshit.
I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this is Biden's America, and you better fight back.
Kill the monster!
It's what's next. A happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Jasper Gonzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today. Of course, we're at the midweek. Always nice when it's a midweek because then you know what's coming at the end. Friday. But anyway, when you're home, around dinner time, and you get a, you get a ring. Someone hits your ring, or someone knocks on your door, and kind of what it is. Back in the 80s and the early 90s, there used to be telemarketers. Telemarketers used to roll up into your house and knock on your door and harass you about, are you interested in this and that and what have you? And you just shoo them away and close the door and go about your business. Nowadays, you get robocalls. Nowadays, you get harassed on social media. And nowadays, you get people rolling up who shouldn't be rolling up, because nothing good can come from it. No, we're not talking about Jehovah's Witnesses. We're talking about Biden's America, the weaponization, and the FBI rolling up to your house. This happened in Texas to one nurse. And here we go. This comes out of the Gateway Pundit. Biden regime sends FBI to intimidate nurse who blew the whistle on Texas Children's Hospital child sex change program, i.e. child mutilation. But why? We're all on the same side, right? This is where we are right now as a country. The Biden regime has sent two FBI agents to intimidate a nurse who exposed controversial practices at a Texas children's hospital. Chris Rufo recently shared on X. The Biden administration sent two FBI agents to intimidate a nurse who told the truth about child sex change program at Texas Children's Hospital, i.e. child mutilation, or child castration, whichever way you want to go. The regime is mobilizing to threaten and imprison anyone who opposes the transmental medicine. Ready for the City Journal. Rufo detailed the events that led to the FBI's intimidation encounter with one nurse. Vanessa Savage, a registered nurse at Texas Children's Hospital, saw a dramatic rise in the number of transmental children treated at the hospital beginning in 2021. These patients struggle with depression, anxiety, addiction, suicide attempts, physical abuse, and discomfort with puberty. However, instead of addressing these underlying psychological conditions, doctors at the hospitals diagnosed him with gender dysphoria and assigned him to a regimen of gender-affirming care, i.e. hormone blocking, and eventually lopping off your balls and binding your breasts, or chopping them off as well. When Savage voiced her concerns about this practice, she was visited by two FBI agents, Paul Nixon and David McBride. Paul Nixon and David McBride, who told her she was a, quote, person of interest, like the old show. An investigation targeting the whistleblower who had exposed the child sex change program. Quote, they're threatening me, Savage told Rufo. They promised they would make life difficult for me if I was trying to protect the leaker. They said I was not safe at work and claimed that someone at my workplace had given my name to the FBI. Before we play that, we'll continue. Both the Department of Justice and the hospital leadership were ideologically committed to a transmental medicine. They had been embarrassed by the investigation that exposed their actions, and they were looking for revenge. Things were quiet for a while afterwards. Savage resumed her work as a nurse, and the FBI did not reappear. Texas Children's Hospital continued its sex change program, but focused instead on patients who had reached the legal age of 18. Savage saw the same terrible medicine regime being prescribed for these young adults. Testosterone for girls, estrogen for boys, and referrals for specialty services. Guess what they are? While Roberts and Paul had stopped providing sex change procedures for minors, the gender clinic is still overflowed with transmental teens. Savage's duties as a nurse included providing medication refills and working with doctors to provide parents, with information and treatment plans, scheduling, and diagnostics. She worked with patient charts and saw their complex psychological diagnoses and the treatments administered by the doctors, so-called doctors. Then Savage noticed the discrepancies in the paperwork after the FBI visit. She followed some of the medical charts of these patients and came to believe that doctors might be violating the law. Texas law prohibits hospitals from billing Medicaid for transmental procedures. However, Savage alleges that these standard practices at Texas Children's Hospital. Several transgender, quote-unquote, patients were enrolled in Texas Children's Program Health Plan STAR at no cost to Medicaid managed health care plans. The largest children's hospital in the country is illegally billing Medicaid for transmental procedures, Savage said. It is evident that the hospitals continue to believe it is above the law, but not concealing the existence of their transmental medicine programs from the public, but by stealing from the federal government. Gee, stealing from the federal government. Not the first time that's been done. Usually it's the other way around. The federal government steals from you. This is not the first time that the Biden regime has used the FBI as its mafia. May of 23. Dr. Ethan Haim, leaked the sex change program documents. Investigative reporters Christopher Rufo. Dr. Haim was careful not to disclose any patient information, but the Biden DOJ indicted him on 4 felony accounts related to HIPAA violations. Should be a simple probation and a slap on the wrist and a fine, but no, under the Biden regime, yeah, you're going to be serving time at Rikers. One day after Dr. Haim exposed the Texas Children's Hospital, the Texas state legislature voted to ban transmental medicine treatments and procedures on minors. Dr. Haim was informed last year that he was under federal investigation for leaking documents to Chris Rufo. Last week, heavily armed agents showed up at Dr. Haim's door and told him that he had been indicted with 4 felony charges. Had three heavily armed agents at my door 7 a.m. Tuesday to inform me I was indicted with 4 felonies for blowing the whistle about the largest children's hospital in the world, lying to the public about their transmental program, Dr. Ethan Haim posted on X. On Monday, the Biden regime unsealed the indictment against Dr. Haim, and Dr. Haim was indicted on 4 felony accounts. If convicted, he faces up to 10 years in federal prison and a $250,000 fine. But that just happens, right? For whistleblowing. And here we go.
Hello? Hi. I'm looking for Vanessa Sivage.
Okay. Yeah. Who are you? Cassie.
I'll make some FBI guy.
Okay.
This is Miss Bride.
I am David.
Okay.
Let me do
Just
it.
gonna collect
Hi.
your action. You're not in trouble.
Hi, how you doing? We're Jehovah's Witnesses. We're selling Britannica. All you old heads out there.
Are we interrupting dinner? I'm really sorry.
That's all right. What's going on?
Let me start at the beginning. So I'm sure you're aware of some of the things that have been going on at your work lately.
With regard to...
Yeah. So can we sit down for a minute? Let me do my song and dance.
Let me do my song and dance. Like in the story, in the article, this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened multiple times across the country. We saw during Trump that one of his supporters, you had federal agents in the wee hours in the morning. I'm forgetting his name is on the tip of my tongue, and I do apologize. But if I said his name, all of you who probably know who he is, showed up at his house, wee hours in the morning, armed to the teeth, and he came out in his pajamas. For what? For backing Trump. That was when Trump was in office. Now, during the Biden regime, no, Trump is nowhere to be found. But if you do something that's against the regime, like, I don't know, protest in Washington for some reason, you could be facing jail time. Now you have a nurse who's not the first one to expose this at the Texas Children's Hospital. We just saw Dr. Haim, and of course, he's been indicted on 4 felony accounts. Now, of course, you're a person of interest. We're not here to harass you. You know what's going on. And she goes, in regards to, she tries to lean in, and they were like, yeah. So they knew what it was. She knew what it was. Now we only saw this ending clip. We don't know what happened. We don't know if they were allowed in the house. Me, I would have said, fuck you dudes. Let me see a warrant. You better show up with a warrant if I have anything to say. And guess what? If I do have anything to say, it would go through my attorney. So get off my property. Period. End of story. That's it. And you move on. You shut the doors, just like Jehovah's Witnesses. You shut the door in their faces and you go about your business. But this is not the first time, and it sure as hell won't be the last if this continues under Biden. Just saying. Welcome to Biden's America. I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.